is the host, whoever that host is, hasn't spoken yet.
Yeah, that's Marty. Good. Okay.
Okay, good.
He just went live stream. So, all right, awesome. You go here. Let me see. Looks like.
So make me once I'm a co-host, I'll bring people in to the panel.
Okay, let me reclaim the host and then I'll make you co-host right now. All right, let me get to it here. There we go. Boom. Make Lynn a co-host. You are now a co-host.
Okay.
There we go. All right.
Let me go to work. So everybody who wants to be on the panel, raise your hand electronically and we'll bring you over. Raise your hands. Good to see all of you here.
He's got green on.
Yes.
Oh, good.
Did you want to see my hair? I just bleached my hair.
Yeah.
Oh, does it look nice?
Take your
Not
hat
yet.
off.
I'm in the process of doing it.
Oh, that's
I'm
nice.
only halfway through. But I have
see.
purple.
Let us see.
No, not yet. Not yet.
Come on now.
No, all you can see right now is madness.
Yeah, good.
It's a work in
okay.
progress.
Set that off.
Work in progress, right, Julie?
Yes, the work in progress.
You can surprise us. We'll be surprised when it's all done.
Yes, absolutely.
Come
Thank
over
you,
to
Lynn,
the
for
panel
helping.
side. You're welcome. Raise your hands electronically and we will bring you over to the panelist side.
Thank you so much. Hello, Chris Stanovich. Hello, Bruce Gerstein. Hello, William DeLone, Judy Rice, Emmanuel Darko, Greg Lincoln, Blaze, Father Blaze, I believe, Pat Perrin, Judy Miller, William Norris, Tim Dillon, Alan Bowden, David Schweitzer, Chucks.
Hi, Julie.
Good to see you. Hello,
Good to see
Stephanie.
you.
Julie, I just want to know what color will your hair be when
I'm gonna do it. I'm actually have purple. I already have the
purple
box,
is.
so we'll be excited because I told you I was going to leave it long. So working on it. It's madness right now, so you don't want to see it. I need Yvonne Mackett here. I need the hair lady here, but we'll see. Hello, Narelle.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hello, everyone.
Hi, Lynn.
Hello.
Hello.
Hi, Lynn.
I always enjoy you
Hello.
guys' presentation. Good to see you guys.
Good to
You and
see you,
Julie.
everyone. Gladys, good to have you. Marie Pendy, good to have you here. Please raise your hand. Lynn and I are working on bringing you on. Hello, Tim Dillon. Hello, lovely Bora. Oh, that's a nice name. Hello, Glory. Hello, Judy Rice. Hello, Linda. Let's see. Let's see.
Hello, Lestra from Canada.
Hi, Lestra.
Hi.
Good to see you. Hello, Jeannie. Hello, Emmanuel. Hello, William. Hello, Linda Longmire. Hello, everyone. If you're joining us today, I encourage you to please raise your hands and join us today. We love to have you on the panel. Even if you don't want to say anything, it's fine. We'll love you on the panel. This is the show for everyone. Everyone could participate, right? So let's see. You are in for a treat today.
Hello, Julie from Houston, Texas. This is Marcia. Hello, everyone.
Hi, Marcian. I better go down the list because I've been skipping. I've been skipping around. All right, let's see. I'm gonna go down the list. Judy Rise, Momodu, good to have you here. DS Kenyal, good to have you here. Glory Iyong, Aisharamulu, good to have you here. Al Fritz, good to have you here. Al Finkel's, good to have you here. I'm gonna mute Bruce. Let's see, Bruce Gerstein, so good to have you. Alan Bowden, sorry, Bowden. Emmanuel, Gladys, Greg, Harold Fox, Ginny, good to have you here. Joshua, good to have you here. Judy Miller, lovely. Bora, that's a very different name, but it's lovely. Linda, good to see you, to meet you the very first time. Linda Longmire, good to have you here. Listra, Myra Aquino, good to have you here. Mirthlin, Norel, Marty, thanks so much for being here with us. Marty, could you make Marty co-host? I think that's Marty on passive. Marie Pendy, Oblaze, Marcienne, good to have you here. It's pauses right here. Pam and Kevin, good to have this beautiful couple here with us. Pam Stanovich, Pat Perrin, Peter Searle, so good to have you joining us. Stephanie, Tim Dillon, William DeLong, William Norris. Let's see. Cheryl Bass, good to have you here. Gosh, I couldn't speak tonight. So sorry. Let's see. Amy, good to have you here. Aurelia, good to have you. Bindi Kumari, good to have you. Chanchal Ali. Chris Madan Samlai, I believe. Clover Kelly, good to have you here. Connor Mullen. Cynthia Deeren, Connor Mullen. I did read Connor. Whenever you're ready, I'm just saying hello to everyone. Florence, good to have you here. Frida, Goodness, good to have you here. Jane Francis, if you are here joining us and if you like to be on the panel, please raise your hands. Today we are talking about a very hot topic, and I think it's a pretty big topic that we want to cover today. Mai Vang, Margaret, Henan, Marge Rukin, Lucas, Lily Lane, Kumudini, Maria, Mr. Ranjid. All right, I'm gonna skip around. Angie Lynn, Loretta, Nicole Thomas. Let's see. Riyadh, good to see you. Haven't seen you for a while. Priska, good to have you here. I think this is Priska, maybe from Papua New Guinea. Rav, Rosemary Rodriguez, Salma, Santana, Sandra Fletcher, Sanja Billa, Serena Dend. I love the name Serena. Let's see, Shirley Dotson, Stephen Shipshanka. Oh wow, Tanya on passive. Tafon, whenever you're ready, Milo, let me know. Team Obam, Antoinette Hayes, another pretty name. Thomas, Tyron, Violet Ryan. Oh, I think I went through the whole list.
I'm ready whenever you are.
All right, I'm ready whenever you are. Please raise your hands if you like to be on the panel.
Julie and Milo show is here today. You don't want to miss a single word they say. Bringing you founders from a near and far. Listen, as they tell you now just who they are. Listen to their stories and how they tell. In just 3 minutes how they're doing well. Telling us what it's all about today. How they're loving that on passive, way on passive. It's here today on passive. There's just no better way. Listen to the Julie and the Milo show. So then you will be the very first to know on passive. It's here today. Julie and Milo show is coming your way Wednesday night on passive. Oh yeah, Julie, take it away.
Thank you, Marlo. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Julie and Milo show. Today is February 23rd, 2022. My name is Julie. I am coming to you from Orange County, California. My dear friend, Milo. Milo, if you could please say hello to everyone.
Hey, how you guys all doing, man? We're gonna have a wonderful time tonight. I know it's gonna be a great show. And remember, we would not have a show if you was not here. So thank you all for coming and being with us tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you, everyone, and welcome everyone around the world joining us today. Hello, all our viewers on our YouTube channel. If you're watching from on Passive YouTube channel, Red Fern, Julie and Milo Show, Bill Must, what else? Marty DeGarmo on Passive Nation. If you are watching us through any of those YouTube channel, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell, just so that every time when we are putting something out there, you have a chance to be the first one who see it. And I know that there are other channels that are out there. And if you watch this program, please do subscribe. So today we are talking about how OnPassive can help with the real estate industry. When I'm talking about real estate person, I'm talking about real estate agent, I'm talking about loan officers, I'm talking about real estate inspectors, I'm talking about real estate appraisers, real estate owner, landlord. I'm talking about, it's everybody, everything that has to do with real estate, right? So this is where we are today. And I do know in our panel and in our meeting room today, we do have a variety of people from everywhere, not only in the United States, it's everywhere. Real estate industry or buying houses, everybody needs a place to live. Imagine. As a real estate agent, I am a real estate agent. I'm licensed in Arizona, and I have been struggling in that field, even though I have reached a level of success somewhere, right? So I come here today with you. I will be wearing two hats. One is a real estate agent hat, and the other one is a founder of OnPassive hat. If you're joining us today, and if you are a homeowner or a home buyer or a home seller, you could wear the same hats. You could wear a hat as a person who are involved in a transaction or anything has to do with real estate. I would like you to come today to just really connecting the dots of everything that we are discussing here today. Imagine at the end of the day, you are connecting with 1.2 million founders around the world. Every single one of those founders or person will be needing buying a home or renting a home or develop some type of real estate in the future. If you are a real estate agent here or a real estate person, we are welcome you to this conversation today. Today, we are having a mastermind discussion that revolving around the real estate. So I'm gonna send it over to Milo for him to get the conversation started. Milo?
Thank you, Julie. Thank you, Julie. Yeah, and you are right, man. With real estate, there is so much that OnPassive can do for the real estate market. You know, you got flippers in there. You got, like you said, just about anyone. You know, whether they're working on real estate or some way involved with it, OnPassive can help them. And remember, the biggest thing you'll probably ever buy in your life is your house. And what do people do to buy the biggest thing that they will ever buy? And they want to buy from someone they love and trust. How do we do that? We've got some ideas that we'd like to run by you today. So, you know, we're, however we want to start. Julie, I don't know, do you want to bring on a question?
Sure. No, I probably just having a conversation, and I truly believe that many of us here, I know Peter Sir is in the house. He's one of our, he is also in the real estate industry. I know Linda Longmire is here. She is also a real estate agent, you know, in the industry. So I'm talking about this conversation is benefit everyone, right? I'm going to speak first, and I'm going to wearing the hat of the real estate agent, and I'm going to bring up some of the challenges that real estate agents nowadays, are facing with. The biggest challenge for me when I was a real estate agent is how to put my brand, how to put me out there in the market. I didn't have a website. And marketing in real estate is extremely expensive, right? If you are taking a listing or if you have a buyer, you have to do a lot marketing, so much money spending out there to get yourself in front of people. What I did back then was I wrote a column in a local newspaper just to get myself out there. And I did that for 5 years. Constantly every month, I wrote a column, and I did that for 5 years before someone literally contacted me to say, I'm interested in what you're doing. Not only that I did that, I literally bought a 38-footer RV. A lot of us here have seen that RV. I bought that 38-footer RV, wrapped around in 4 sides of it my face and what I am offering to the people, right? And not only that, I have done shows, I have talked to people, still didn't work, right? And then I paired up with a real estate, an escrow officer to do a direct mails to people's home. It cost me $400 a month. And remember, that money, I haven't made it yet. That money is coming right out of my pocket. I'm not making the money before until I actually sold a property or successfully close a transaction. And what I'm sharing with you here is the difficult and the challenge that so many real estate agents, when I'm talking about real estate agent, I really meant loan officer, anyone that involved in the transaction of real estate. So what I see being a real estate agent, the struggles that I have every day in the field, and now I understand about OnPassive and the products that OnPassive has. I feel that OnPassive will play the biggest role that can change the struggles and benefiting the real estate persons around the world, right? So now that is the struggle. I like anyone to add on to what I say, or if you like to see some of the products in OnPassive can help with what the real estate agents are struggling. Do you want to start, or Peter or Linda or anyone that see the struggles that I have can jump in, please. Peter?
I'll start, Julie,
Okay.
if that's okay.
Yes, please.
Oh, Peter.
Okay, great. It's funny that this webinar is here today. The reason is I've been looking, a lot of you don't know, I retired from Ford Motor Company. I think most of you know that, at least with Chris Johnson. Both worked in the same factory. And once I retired, early 2020, I needed to fill my gap with something else. So I decided to get my real estate license as a real estate agent. And I got it in March in 2020. The biggest struggle for me is, like Julie was just saying, how to get your name out there. How do you get leads? No matter what real estate agent you talk to, that's the biggest challenge they ever face. No matter what you do is never enough. So the funny thing is earlier today, early in the morning, I had a webinar on lead generating for real estate agents, and specifically, I'll talk about real estate agents because I'm one. After listening to the speech they had and what they offer, I was shocked to say that they are charging, if you are not in the webinar, if you just buy, they create a website for you, they do like social media stuff and do a few things for you. without the webinar, being in the webinar is $350 a month. Just to do a website, no leads, just if you get leads from there, great. If you don't, oh well, okay. And because you're in a webinar, it's $210 per month, okay? Okay, now, if you want leads for your real estate business, that's another package. You have to pay for that. How much is that? I'm gonna give you an example. If you get 7 to 10 leads per month, if you were not in a webinar, it's $600 per month. That's because you're in a webinar, they have special, it's $400 a month, okay? If you want between 20 to 30 leads per month, $1,400 per month, okay? Or $950 because you're in a webinar. If you want 40 to 60 leads per month, it's $2,000 or $1,400 because you're in a webinar. The bottom line, if you add some of these costs for somebody just starting out, just put his name out there, kind of like what Julie was trying to do to get her names out there, postcards, a trailer, you know, RV, whatever you can get, it's not enough. You gotta have leads of somebody raising their hand that says, hey, hello, I want to sell my house. But there is so many real estate agents. How are you going to compete with that? Especially, like I said, I'm new, I'm still new, right? Leads is the hardest one to come to a real estate agent that is brand new. Spending that kind of money that you don't have as a real estate agent because you didn't make money yet, right? So that's the hardest part. On passive, wow, they're going to build a website for you. They're going to generate targeted traffic for you, for people that you want. How can you lose? And at what fraction of the cost? Even if you pay, okay, so as a founder, we pay $97 just to be a founder, right? Okay, the first month a cost is between $200 and $300. Add them together is $400 max, okay? This, what I just presented today, that will give you 7 to 10 leads per month. Imagine what OnPassive can do for you. And then after that, you don't pay anything on OnPassive because everything else comes from the profit. You guys see the power of OnPassive? It's amazing. That's what I gotta say, Julie. Back to you.
Wow, Peter, that was so awesome. And I know Milo has his hand raised. I'm gonna say really tiny bit. What Peter is saying is that those leads are just cold leads, right? You're gonna have to work in order for them to be interested in what you are offering them. It's crazy. Milo, please.
Yeah, Julie and Peter, that's so true. And Peter, you were talking about leads, you know, and the new guy in, you know, he can't afford those leads. But the guy that's selling $1 million houses, you know, and millions of dollars worth of things, guess where he's getting his leads? AI. He goes to AI. No one can be competitive with that until now. This is the thing that's beautiful about OnPassive is, you know, number one, they build a website, and don't forget, when they build that website, they build you a sales funnel 365 days a year. Every day you get a new sales funnel. What's it like when you put a new sales funnel out every day? Do you think you're going to get some extra people? You absolutely will, you know. And that the website OCreate is a beautiful thing, you know, and like Julie was talking about, you know, you can do old posts and send out a newsletter or whatever that will go out, you know, to millions of people, you know, just at the click of the button. Back to you, Julie.
Absolutely. This is so true. And I love the discussion here. I mean, we totally show all the agent, you know, the people that are involved in real estate. OnPassive is the solutions to those problems. And why are we bringing this here? We are bringing this here to founders and everyone who watching this, because I believe in every single household in the US or in America, or excuse me, in the US and America, or in the world, know a real estate agent or know someone who interested in buying a house or selling a house. So I would love to hear from Linda. Linda has her hand raised. Linda Longmire. Linda, are you with us? All right, let's oh, she just went somewhere. All right, Mohammed Syed, if you would please unmute your mic.
Hello, Julie. How are you?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Pretty good. I better ask questions, and I always take a part in these webinars, just listening to a lot of information, and I'm really, really excited. One thing with me is that I have 2 accounts as a founder, and yet I couldn't able to recruit nobody. And
I'm sorry, Mohammed, this is not a subject for that right now. So I would love for you to come on to our regular founders meeting. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
All right, Linda, you are up next. Please unmute your mic. Linda Longmire.
Hi, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I just wanted to say, Peter, I can't agree with you more. And one of the things I always feel so badly about is when a new agent gets their license and really thinks they may go out and earn money without realizing the work involved in gaining leads, qualified leads. It's not just, you can get a bunch of names. You can go to any directory and get names, but getting qualified leads, looking for what you are offering is really a challenge. I think that the website that OnPassive is offering, number one, when you first get started, or even if you've been in the business for a while, you deal with 2 issues. One is time, one is money. If you have the money, that means you're making money and you don't have the time to do all the things you need to be doing. And if you don't have the money, it's hard to build make the time and get the things done because it's so expensive, as Julie was saying. So there's a lot of things in OnPassive in just getting your name into the community. And one of the things I looked at was Oh Bless. It's very difficult to be able to focus within the community because you always want to give back. If that's where you're working, you want to give back. And to be able to tie in with some of the other organizations and help with Oh Bless, I think will be one of the fastest ways to get your name out there. There's many others that you can tie into with that too. But those are the 2, the website. Then you have the Odesk, which is an incredible CRM, and most agents certainly getting started don't even realize the value of keeping their records, the names of the contacts, because that's going to be invaluable as you move forward.
Absolutely, Linda. Thank you so much. Milo, do you have anything to add on to what you've heard? I'm sending out a couple of links to people they're saying that this link that we sent out is not working. So I'm working on that. If you could please take it.
Sure. There's so many things in the real estate market that you can use that I see, number one, the website, OCreate, you remember you're going to have VPNs. Okay, VPNs, what are those? Virtual private networks. That's going to keep your stuff safe. Remember with AI, this is the most beautiful thing around, I believe. AI is going to find those people for you. And like, I can't remember who Peter and some of them mentioned, it's targeted traffic. It's not just regular traffic. It's not just the names that are on a paper or an email that you got an email list you're going to send out to. What good does that do? That person might not be looking for a house, but what if you could target the person that's looking for a house in your certain zip code that you're selling in? How valuable is that to you? That's very valuable, because now you're not talking about people that are out kicking tires. You're talking about people that are really interested. These are people that want it. Now, when you combine your website along with say, let's say you have an OConnect and say you have a almost like a live TV show. how important would it be for you to get in front of those people and to talk and just say, because remember, if they learn about you and all of a sudden they come and they're following you, they're gonna love and trust you, because they can't love and trust you if they don't know you. But if they see you on TV all the time, they're gonna love and trust you, right? You can tell them about your houses that you got for sale, or say, hey, I'd love to have your house. You know, you can take that house and you can put a video on there that shows the neighborhood. There is so many things that this will work for. And one that I thought of just recently was, how about Ocademy? What if you took and you got with a builder and you brought the builder on and you said, hey, show me what to do to change this to a bathroom. Is that going to make that house more expensive? Absolutely. You know, maybe sometimes you can just change a few things that house will sell better. What about curb appeal? Curb appeal is huge. You know, you can see a house that, you know, is run down and got everything grown up and stuff around it. Guess what? Not many people's going to want to look at it. Why? Because it doesn't have curb appeal. What if you add something that shows you how to change that to curb appeal? Is that going to help? Absolutely. And you can do that through Ocademy by showing people, hey, you could change this, you could change that. Those are some things that I see. And I see we have a hand up, Marie Pindy.
Hi, good evening, good afternoon, good morning to everyone, wherever you are. I just wanted to agree or support what I've heard about, you know, on passive, how it's going to provide the platform for realtors to be able to get a lot of people to see if they can sell or buy their homes. Because right now, as I can talk to you, every day I get like 2 to 3 postcards or things in the mail, people asking me if I want to sell my home, if you know, making connections with me for me to contact them to sell my home. Phone calls, I don't know where they got my cell phone or texts. Every day I'm always receiving people competing to ask me to call them for me to sell my home. And it has gotten to the point, because it is so many, there are so many mails and calls that I receive. And I'm just saying that on passive is going to help these realtors to be able to contact a few millions of people who are willing to sell their homes. Yes, that's what I just wanted to say.
Absolutely, Marie. Thank you so much. We have been really focusing on the real estate agent, right? I want to bring up one more point. Okay, if you are as a homes, you know, seller, homeowner, or a buyer, what if you get to be at home watching the broadcast of the properties that your real estate agent, the ones that you trusted, right, to see the homes at your home and see the broadcast, right? With OnPassive, OConnect can help with that, right? And another thing too, being a real estate agent in an industry, you have to have your present, people have to trust you in order to actually invest the time in you to take them out, you know, to buy a house or to sell the house. You have to build that trust. What if you are in the OnPassive network in your local area? Everyone, all the founders, everyone in the network know you are doing real estate. You are the real estate agent, right? So in order for all of us to be able to have that presence in front of everyone is the trust. It's how much, you know, what do you offer to other people? And I think being in this type of pandemic, you can actually don't have to sit at an open house, but yet you open that house to everybody to see it through some of the products of OnPassive that give you the ability to put that broadcast out. I see Niraj from India has his hand raised. I'd love to hear from you, Niraj.
Thank you, Julie. So I have made some points, so wanted to discuss that. First thing, as everybody said about lead generation, for that you can actually use the O tracker with geolocation, and also you can actually find out. For example, you are dealing in a luxury apartment or something, luxury houses. Then maybe you find out you would only target maybe Las Vegas or something. So, as someone said, according to zip code. So that is there. Then in real estate, the lead cost is always high as compared to the conversion ratio. So using OPost, you are able to reach out a lot number of people. So that was it. Next is a real estate person actually post the listing on various social medias, but he never knows where the conversion is happening. For that, he can actually use OTrim also to find out where the links are getting converted. Next is like he also has to do a lot of back office work, and one of the thing he has to do is maybe create presentations, and for that he can use Audit for that. Next is he also has to do a real estate person has to coordinate between various people. So internal communication is involved. So he can also use OPeer, and I think those are the things I can think of. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Niraj. You brought up a lot of good points, and if you're listening to this program, I do hope that you take note on some of the terms, some of the words, some of the products that we are saying here, and then if you would like to know more information about it, please get back with the person who shared this webinar with you, who share on Passive with you, and say, you know what, I'd like to know more a little bit about the product that can help me enrich the presence of myself as a real estate agent or a real estate person in the market, right? I see Marty has his hand raised.
Oh, hello, everybody. Look, I'm going to make something perfectly clear. I am not a real estate agent and know nothing about it, but I have an idea about OnPassive. And I did look up a couple things with real estate. And yes, Peter, and people that do have experience, lead generation can be overwhelming. Competition, overwhelming. Your next check, maybe not. How much you can make, is it the same every month? Absolutely not. Well, if I was a real estate agent and I had OnPassive, I would definitely contact every real estate agent in the United States. I would set up groups inside of Marketplace, listing every state in the union. I would tell them we're going to work together, and if somebody in your area needs real estate or needs assistance, come see Bob Smith. If he lives in Indiana, come see Sally Superstar. And if you worked together, because we know that not today doesn't matter, but someday there will be millions and millions of people in the United States that are looking or selling homes. I know for a fact there will be 1 million founders that will probably be looking for homes in the next few years. I happen to be one of those, okay? So if you could go to Marketplace, punch on something and have separate tabs for each state. And real nice part of this is each one of those real estate agents in each town, each city, each state could be a founder. And if they weren't, that would be part of my deal of getting them into the company that I will help you lead people to your real estate agency, and we will share some of the profit, because I know that some real estate agents break the commissions. I would love to break the commissions with 50 different states, along with tens of thousands of different cities in each state. That's just my opinion. Now, if you look at leverage, that is smoking hot. That is smoking hot. Then what you do is you drive people with extra money that you're making with all the apples. I'm not allowed to say money. I'm saying freaking money. Okay. If you, when you get the money, you can add more ads to bring more people in from each state that you're representing, because now you don't represent one state, one county. You could actually represent 50 states and thousands of counties. Just my opinion, sometimes I lose my cool, but think that big. You can always come down, shoot for the stars. If you land on the moon, you still did okay. That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Marty. That is absolutely true. Marty mentioned about 1 million. Think of it as 100 millions, okay? Because OnPassive doesn't stop at 1 million. Think of 100 millions people around the world. It doesn't matter where you are in the world. There are going to be hundreds of millions of people looking for a house, right? Milo, did you want to say something, or do you want to bring
let Peter go first.
Oh, Peter, please go ahead.
Marie brought in a good points in regarding to postcard that she receives in the mail. Those are very costly, and you have to be established a real estate agent to do that. Marketing campaign for an actual physical postcards cost a lot of money. Just an example, if you print out 2,000 postcards and you send them out to one zip code, which is not going to even touch quarter of the zip code, maybe a couple subdivisions or something, those just for the postage is going to cost you around $600. That's not including the design of the postcards and the printing of the postcards. And my understanding, based on my experience, you have to reach any targeted customers at least 5 times before they can actually know and recognize your name. So you have to do it 5 times in order to get like the one customer, because you're blanket the neighborhoods, right? If you blanket the neighborhood, not everybody is a target. Okay, it's just like Linda was saying. You have to be targeted traffic, like I mentioned before, and Milo mentioned it before again. Target traffic is what you're looking for. Not everybody's going to be selling their house. Just like Marie said, she received postcards. She's not ready to sell the house. So you're wasting the time in there. OnPassive, that's where OnPassive comes in. Marty's idea is an excellent idea too. Working together as real estate agents within the company, we can literally be another Zillow, which is a monster in a real estate business within OnPassive. The possibility is endless. And what Niraj was mentioning, how some of the tools that we have in OnPassive, how we can use them to excel our business and on real estate is amazing. It's always also one of the things that when you become a new real estate agent, the first thing they tell you, hit your sphere of influence, right? Okay, well, if you don't have family and you don't have a lot of people that are able to buy houses and stuff like that, you're stuck. So you have to pitch a lot of money up front before you can even see a red cent. So this is huge, guys. OnPassive is just like incredible. It's more than you can even imagine. It's a mind blowing, to be honest with you. Back to you, Julie.
Thank you, Peter. You tap on the really good point, and Milo, I know your hand's raised, but I gotta say this really quick. Peter said your sphere of influence, right? What if you have no one, but you are a founder of OnPassive? All the founders around the world are your spheres of influence. How beautiful is that? You already have your customers or your clients ready to buy, right, Milo? Thanks,
absolutely. Peter. And the thing that is so cool about this is we're talking about OnPassive, and we all get excited about everything that it's going to do, because OnPassive will do everything for whatever you want it to do. You just have to think about it, and you can come up with what can OnPassive do. There's so many things it can do. And I think, personally, I think the church industry and probably real estate are the two biggest ones, you know, that it will affect. Because when you think about it, we've only been talking about the realtor, right? That's all we've talked about so far, basically. But we have all of these other things that play into the real estate. You know, what about the remodeler? What about the person buying the home? We haven't even talked about that. What if you have a person come to the home and they want, you know, there's so many of them that come and they're kicking tires and they got a $300,000 budget, but they want the $1 million house that's on the river, you know, and it's like, how do you steer them away from that? Because that is their dream. That's what they want. Well, guess what? You don't have to steer them away from it now. You just steer them to Own Passive. They buy a thing, say, hey, come back in 6 months, man. You're going to be just fine, you know, as soon as, because if you remember, Own Passive will never get less. So once you come into Own Passive, it makes more. So in other words, if you come into Own Passive and the house that you want to buy is $15,000 a month, well, guess what? You only have to get the $15,000 in Own Passive. At that point, you don't have to worry about it. If you've got a spot in there for a house, it's always going to go more. It's going to go more. It'll never go less. And the reason it will never go less is, remember, there's not a soul that's going to quit. I mean, you would have to be crazy to quit when it's actually funding it for you. So you could fund anything that you want to, and a house being one of them, you know. And there's just so much that I see. You know, Niraj talked about OTracker. Okay, so we have OTracker. And guess what? Ash says he has everybody's IP address, right? If he has everybody's IP address, he knows where everybody lives. He knows what their phone numbers are. That's all in the database, right? Because all of your information is in the database. And people think, well, I don't want it out there. Well, guess what? It doesn't matter. It's already out there. That's part of technology, and you're not going to change that. So now you're talking about if say they wanted to target a certain neighborhoods or whatever, no longer do you have to send out postcards, because now we can put that in front of the people with OPost, with the OMail. Remember, we have OChat. What if you're a realtor and at 3 o'clock in the morning, someone sees a house and they want to know about it? Wouldn't it be nice to say, you know, that chat box come up and say, hey, how you doing? This is Peter. And say, what are you interested in? Oh, I'm interested in this house. Boom. And it brings up it tells it everything. Maybe it sends out a floor plan. Maybe it tells them, you know, hey, would you like to see it? You know, and if you do, all of a sudden it shoots a video over to them. They like it. They say, man, I would really like that, you know, and it sends over the neighborhood. There is so many possibilities for realtors, and it doesn't cost you a dime. That's the beautiful thing. I mean, it costs you to get in, like Peter said, $97, and then you come back with a $200 to $300 one-time thing. That's it. Where else can you get leads? Where else can you get that? Where you can make beautiful photos? You can write things across the top, make memes out of them. You know, want to buy this house, you know, and post it on social media. Odit does all that. So there's just a lot of possibilities, but I don't want to go on and on. So back to you, Julie.
Absolutely, Milo. Thank you for bringing up a lot of good points. We have been focused on real estate agents, you know, in the past, almost an hour now. I see that Tim Dillon and William Norris has their hands up, but we're going to finish up on that part, but please, more than welcome to speak. I'd like to bring to the next topic. Think about the real estate broker who has 20 or who has 500 agents in their own brokerage, right? So I like everyone that are listening in, and if you are a broker, right, who own a brokerage, I'd like you to listen to our next segment after William's thing. So I'd like you to think about that, you know, being a broker who own a brokerage. How does On Passive help, right? If you are founders and you know exactly what On Passive is offering, I'd like you to speak the next segment. But as right now, I'd like to hear from Tim Dillon, and then right after Tim, if William could jump in. Tim, if you would please open your mic.
Thank you, Julie. Listening to all this really brought some things to my mind. And it's a little bit, and maybe it will parlay into your next segment. Because I see this, I know many realtors, and they just don't sell houses. They also rent. They have numerous possible rentals available. Well, coming from KOA Campgrounds, basically, we were renting property. So how is this going to affect hotels, motels, campgrounds, and rental agencies across the globe? Oh my goodness. It is going to help them get those properties filled with people.
Absolutely.
Qualifying people, right, Tim?
Yes,
qualifying people.
exactly.
Right.
You know, you got
Beautiful.
to take it, you got to put it all together, because sometimes I get a little off and you have to read between the lines. But that's common here.
Thank you, Tim.
I see so many benefits for hotels, motels, campgrounds, and rental people with this, with all the tools that they will have available. They can increase their potential for their own satisfaction.
Absolutely, Tim.
That's all I got, girl.
Thank you, dear. Thanks so much. You brought in a lot of good point, in which I'm going to cover that rental market right after brokerage. All right. So hang on, don't leave yet. Just hang on to your thought on that part. William Norris, I'd like to hear your thought in our first segment. William, if you would please unmute your mic. We don't, we can't hear you.
Right now.
Yeah, we can hear you now, William.
All right. I appreciate that. I'd like to thank you and thank everybody for being here and allowing me to speak. There is a network that goes along with the realtor side of things, and it extends into construction pretty heavily, not only in new construction, but in remodeling and repairs. I have my own construction company for 20 years, up until 2012, 13, I retired from that. But there was a lot of times that I wouldn't have had work if it hadn't been for a real estate agent. I mean, they actually, you know, turned me work and would actually put my name out there because, you know, I was in the area and I did good work, and, you know, you have to get your name out there some way, somehow. And, you know, you can do mailers, you can do brochures, postcards, and it helps, but it's never as good as word of mouth by, you know, somebody in the real estate industry, because that is definitely going to turn you work. So you know, I see a broader field within the real estate area. I see a much broader field because there's a lot of people, a lot of businesses that will be affected by what they do and how they do it. All right, thank you.
Thank you, William. Absolutely true. Absolutely true. Milo, I see your hands raised.
Yes, Julie, that's a great point, William. And I was in the construction industry, and I know that too also, that the guys, the realtors, you know, the builders work for the realtors, and the contractors work for the realtors. The realtors have a big play in it. But we're talking about brokers right now. And so let's just go into that just a little bit. So a broker is over all the realtors. So why would a broker want to bring everyone, all of his realtors into OnPassive? Well, there's a few things that would happen. Number one, if he brings a realtor in under him, all of a sudden he starts getting all these, the realtor starts getting the leads and they start selling more houses. Well, if they sell more houses, guess what that does for the broker? It makes him more money, you know? And it also, so even if he brought them in to get the leads and also provide them a retirement plan. And, you know, I've thought, you know, what if a broker brought in his realtors and said, hey, you know what, if you stay with me for 5 years, you get 50% or 25% of this. If you stay with me for, you know, 5, 10 years, you get more. Is that going to create loyalty? Absolutely. And when they have the best, you get a team working together like that. What is the other real estate people going to want to do? They're going to want to come over to the winning side, right? Because they got a lot better deal over there because they're getting extra money on the side, plus they're getting leads and they're doing all of this. And that all comes from just providing them with a spot in on passive underneath them, you know, and at any time, and this is legally, I don't know how this works, but I know that I've been in places before where, you know, you get a certain percentage, however long you've been there. You could do the same thing with this. Hey, you actually own that position, you know, and they're working for you. So once they've been in 5, 10 years, they got that money, they're going to stay working for you. And it's going to be a good deal for them, you know, and they could even put another spot underneath them if they wanted to. But and then when you talk about brokers, you break that down. Okay, now what about the customers? How about bringing the customers in under the real estate people? Now you're tying all this loyalty type thing, and I think that's a key thing with when you're building that trust up. Remember, people's going to buy from those they love and trust, and I think that's important.
That is so true, Milo. Another point that I wanted to bring up too, as a broker, there are so many fees. There are so many expenses that they have to do in order to run their business. First of all, right, is the website. Second of all, the office space, the staff, all the maintenance prices, and all the program for them to be able to keep track of the transactions, not only the transactions itself, but for the agents, right? How many of those bills that the broker or the real estate brokerage owner have to sign out every month, right? How many of those, in order for them to run a real estate, I'm going to call it the real estate company, right? How many of those bills they have to do, right? To be honest with you, when that real estate company in the network of OnPassive, how many bill do that person or that company has to pay? One, right? They become the founder of OnPassive, pay the activation fee. They get themselves one position, right? That position has all the products that can run the entire brokerage or the entire real estate company, right? Everything from lead generations, from building their brand, from staffing, from HR, you know, staffing management, from keeping tracks of all the transactions, from the accounting side of it, from, you know, because real estate agent get paid by what, 1099. They have to have the payroll, not the payroll, yeah, the payroll is setting up. The accounting has to be clear, and the trust account has to be precisely, you know, report. Otherwise, it's going to go into all these rules and regulations. So if you are a broker or a brokerage owner or a real estate owner of a company, I would encourage you to consider to buy yourself one position, 2 position, or 10 position, based on what Milo is saying, so that you can run your business truly. I put myself in everyone's shoes, right? Be as a founder of OnPassive, understood what I understood so far. I put myself in the shoes of the real estate person, of a music industry, of a churches industry, churches and health wellness. I think of all possible ways to help those industries. And I do hope you as founders of OnPassive join into this conversation. You are here just so that you know that there are so much more for you to reach out to help the industry instead of just one individuals, your friends or your families or your coworker, right? I wanted to bring that point, and I believe that is the purpose why on the Julie and Milo show, we want to share the values of what you can do as a founder of OnPassive. Being, you know, a brokerage or a real estate company owner, do you feel that OnPassive, all the tools are going to help you? And in order for you to understand that, you truly have to look into what is OnPassive is about. What are the tools? So please, if you're a broker, real estate owner, or the real estate inspector, any that in that field, get back with the person that shared this with you and do ask them about what else is there. Any point that I missed, Milo, Peter, Niraj, anyone here would like to add on what I brought up here? I would love to hear from you.
Staff, I think, is a big thing. You know, real estate people have to have license and they have to keep them updated, and they got to do, I believe, all kinds of things. Correct, Julian?
Absolutely. You know, my real estate expired by January of this year, right? And I didn't know, there's no system for me to track, right? There's no one in my office remind me. I just happened to, it's like, oh, what am I doing? You know, I checked on, I'm like, oh no, I got 2 weeks and I need to have 24 units every 2 years in order to keep my real estate going. So that within that 2 weeks, I'm scramming myself every single day, going in there and study and update the informations. So if you have a system within OnPassive, right, give you the update, give you the prompt that maybe you want to use and remind your agents maybe 30 days or 3 months ahead of time, OnPassive or staff be able to do that.
Right. I think you could your broker could set that up automatically. When you go in and you get your license, it automatically is going to send you an email, you know, 3 months prior and say, hey, you know, you got license coming up. And at 2 months, it might send you 2 of them or 3 reminders, you know. And I think that's all an important thing to keep things running smooth. So OSTAF, I think, will be something that will be used a lot in the real estate market.
Absolutely. Peter?
Yes, there's a lot of tools to be used for a broker as well. You know, the broker I worked with have 100 agents, and controlling the agents, obviously everybody, he's liable for everything that the agent do. Okay, so he have to keep track of everything that the real estate agent does or do in their field. The CRM software that we have is an excellent tools for that. Another thing too, a lot of brokers, they don't have a lot of space to accommodate people like agents actually physically to be in a facility of the broker. They usually have a small office now these days, and you work from home, and that's your office. How he communicates with these people, usually through Zoom. Okay, I know my broker uses Zoom, so they, you know, we have OConnect. That's less expense for the broker to use versus Zoom. Another thing, my broker, he's a big guru for real estate. He does teach classes about real estate nationwide, all over the United States through a paid program, okay? He's very good at it. So he can use Ocademy to use that. And he can teach not just in the United States, worldwide, because his ideas can work literally in any country. And he can generate income by selling that And instead of just being confined in the United States, he can expand his business all over the world. So the possibilities are limitless, really, with OnPassive. We have so many tools, we probably don't even think about it at this time, but it's just amazing what we have out here.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. And Milo, I like to bring this up when we're talking about this. I don't want to leave the real estate inspectors, right, and real estate appraisers, because you can also benefit from this as well. Let's hear from Milo first.
Peter, I got a question to ask you. If your realtor, if he becomes, he teaches classes and stuff like that, and say you're signed up under him or he signs the realtors up underneath him, will that benefit you?
Absolutely. Let's say if I bring in the broker and then the realtor, we all use tools. So they realize this is, obviously he's gonna, try to sell them that too, because it's a saving for them and also brings more leads. So it would make sense for everybody to come underneath the broker as well. Obviously, that would be, if I sign up the broker, it would be under my team. That's for sure, 100%.
Absolutely. Well, the thing I was getting at mainly is if you come in under the broker, say the broker's in and he's doing classes, he's teaching real estate, is that going to benefit you, the guy underneath him?
Absolutely. There's no doubt.
Yeah, because you have, all of a sudden he gets all these people starting to come in, these realtors. Who are they coming in under? Even if they come in under him, remember, he's only getting 3 spots, right? And the rest of them are going underneath him. Who's underneath him? You are. The realtors are underneath him. So it's going to fill in that whole tree. That is the beauty of OnPassive and why, it just works. No matter how you look at it, it works. I know we're not supposed to talk about overflow and we wink and stuff, and but the truth of it is if they're coming in underneath him. Well, they're on. They could end up on your team. Just wanted to point that out.
I also want to add something else, Julie, if I may. William brought in a good point in regarding to referral contractors. Real estate agents and broker. We always get asked, do you have a good contractors? Do you have an inspector? Do you have insurance company person? All the clients always come to the real estate agent. They trust the person because he's licensed. So, and he deal with a lot of customers. So they always ask him for referrals. These are your people. I mean, everything is real estate. So, you can't go wrong really with OnPassive. It's amazing for everybody, anybody that's involved in real estate and beyond.
For sure. As I and Peter and a lot of the founders here wearing 2 hats. One is in the real estate field and the other hat is in OnPassive field. We see there is a connections there, like a complete connections and benefiting so much if anyone's at being part of OnPassive. Now, let's talk about the real estate inspectors and the appraisers, right? The appraisers can also use the products of OnPassive, all the tools for him to educate the consumers on the real estate market, right? On the real estate market itself, what's the value of individuals, right? Or even the inspectors, the real estate inspectors can actually educate the consumer how to maintain certain things, how to detect the malfunction certain part in the house. I just see that there is a total win-win situation here in what we're talking about. Now, let's move to another arena that Tim tapped on a little bit. What if you are a real estate owner / landlord? Wouldn't you want to have the people that you already know and trusted to rent your house? What if you are a Airbnb owner? Would you want to have, let's say, Marcian coming to India, let's say, and Niraj has an Airbnb there, wouldn't you let Marcian, rent a night or two there? I mean, wouldn't Marcian, being the person, travel to another country, feel safe and comfortable staying in Niraj's Airbnb? That's just one example, right? What if you are a landlord who already has your wallet set up where your tenants every single month are paying rent just from one wallet to the other wallet without a third party holding your money, or a management company? What if you are a management company, right, that manages properties for hundreds of landlords around the world? Imagine when on Passive launch, there's over millions, what about 10 millions of people that go out there and look for property to buy or invest in properties? I would be one of them, right? Wouldn't I want to be able to choose a management team that I already know and trust, right? The entire ecosystem that on Passive has can be applied in your entire system of real estate. Agree, disagree? Anyone like to add on more to it? Anyone here has been a landlord, or even if you are a renter? If you are a renter renting a property, please talk to us. Peter, you are up next.
Believe it or not, Julie, I used to be an investor where I buy a lot of houses and rent them and rehab the houses and stuff like that. I do have one rental property currently and collecting rent. So absolutely, I mean, communication with the renters and the wallet that you brought out. Currently, I'm using Cash App, but obviously, our wallet would be much easier and internally. And it's an amazing thing, and you can always communicate via. It could be OConnect or anything else that on Passive have as tools. You can have a tour of the house and see what it is without physically being inside there. So I'll let somebody else speak because that's all I think I can think about.
Of course. Thank you, Peter. Harold.
Hello, everyone. Hi, Julie and Marlo and everyone else.
Hello.
Peter just hit me in the stomach. I was a real estate investor also. And you got to get leads. I mean, people that are interested in selling their homes, buying homes, and you got to pay for them. Especially when I first started out, it was just almost impossible to afford the lead generators, to say. But after a while, I got to know realtors, and realtors would turn me on to various properties that were, for sale or rehab or whatever the case may be. And I see this with on Passive. Again, there's so many things I could do. I'm still in it a little bit, but I'm going to up it a little bit with on Passive. That's all.
Thank you, Harold. Thanks for that. I'm going to talk about the real estate investor side of it in a bit, but I'm glad that you both brought on. Milo?
Ladies first, Patricia. Patricia Stout.
Hi.
Hey.
How are y'all tonight?
Good.
Doing great, Patricia.
He is exactly right. Everything that I have heard tonight, and I apologize, I was having technical difficulties, but everything I've heard tonight is exactly right. It's just amazing how On Passive is going to change our world as realtors. And even as investors, you have companies out there who are charging a fortune for rentals, for doing the short-term rentals, the long-term rentals. I mean, people are going online, they're booking them. Booking.com is a perfect example. And they just charge an absolute fortune to do those things when you can be doing them yourselves. And it just makes so much sense. And the amount of money that you pay for leads, there's lead companies popping up everywhere. But if you, as a realtor, are buying leads, let's say you're buying a zip code, then you are probably paying for good leads. You're going to be paying about $4,500 a month. And I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy money. If you're in OnPassive, you're a founder and you have all this at your fingertips, it's just amazing. It's overwhelming when you stop and think about it.
Absolutely, Patricia. Thank you for being here with us. And I know your practice in real estate and you do value what we're talking here and what we're discussing here. The part that, what we are discussing here, everybody beneficial to it. Being a founders, one or two people in your family, even. I believe every single household know a person who has a real estate license, right? Or representing. So a lot of good points that we brought here. Thank you, Patricia.
And one more thing I was thinking about, Julie, we were talking about it this week, actually in our office, about leads from other countries. And everybody was kind of scratching their head. What a better opportunity than with OnPassive.
Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. No doubt about that. And real estate agents are working across the countries, right? Across the world, because we do have something called a referral fee, right?
Right.
Beautiful. Thank you, Patricia. Milo, did you want to add something?
I do. Airbnbs and VRBOs. I'm very familiar with those. And living in Nashville, that's a hot ticket. I mean, do you realize that there was one apartment that rented for $11,000 for one night in Nashville when the eclipse was going on? It's crazy stuff, but it's happening all the time. Now imagine that like you were saying, Julie, now we have OnPassive. What if you had, a thing where, hey, OnPassive, I'm going to rent to OnPassive people, and do that. That's a built-in system for you. Now, the ripple effect to all of these things, you got the realtors tied to the construction guys, tied to the bankers, tied to the inspectors, tied to, and you take Airbnb, same way. The Airbnb, they got to have a house cleaner. They have to have someone come in and clean the house. They got to have someone mow the grass. What if you put those all into your system and make it, hey, you know what? I'm paying out by a wallet, and they want your business because they come in, it's repeated business, right? So they want your business. Now they come in as not a founder, but a reseller or whatever underneath you, because you want to be able to pay them peer to peer. You want to be able to use that wallet. There's so many advantages that we have with OnPassive. We just have to think of them. And when you get to investors, I got some real good stuff.
Perfect, Milo. Thank you, Milo. Marcianne, your hands is up. Love to hear from you, Marcianne.
Yes, Julie, thank you so much for having me. I just wanted to say that this real estate opportunity today with OnPassive is well connected, because some of us, we have property or some kind of real estate back home. Usually, most of the time, we're asking people to help us to take care of our property. Guess what? With OnPassive, it's going to be very easy, because we can have all those buildings.
Marcia, could you give me 1 second? Okay, never mind. Pam just share her screen, but go ahead. Sorry, Marcia, go right ahead.
Okay, I was just saying that with on passive, it's going to be very easy for us that we have property somewhere else, but other than the America, like back home in Africa. Instead of asking our loved one to collect our money, and sometimes they don't give it to us, they use it for their own way and start telling us story. Now we have a wallet. That person, not only that, we're going to tell them, okay, you join the company and you pay with all wallet to all wallet. You don't have to go to the bank like Milo said. It's a good thing for them. It's a good thing for us also. So real estate is almost everywhere around the world, and we, the founder, are going to benefit on it in so many ways, because almost all of us doing some kind of real estate somehow. Thank you.
Thank you, Marcian. That is so true. And I do have a story to tell in a little bit in the investors portion. Niraj, I see your hand is up.
I'm just exploring my mind. I don't know whether this is a valid point or not. Maybe people working in the real estate sector would be able to tell more in detail. If you are a landlord, then you have to deal with a lot of tax complications sometimes. And we have a tool called O-Counting, which will help you in that. So I just wanted to know whether that will be useful.
Absolutely, Raj. Absolutely, no doubt about that. In O-Counting, everything was all there. All it is, all we got to do is press the button and then send it to our CPA or accountants to do it. Absolutely, because that's huge though. That's huge. I am also a real estate investor, and I'll tell you a story in a bit. Sandra.
Hi everyone. Talking about the Airbnbs. I happen to have an Airbnb also, and it's such a, think about the community we have, such a big community now as founders, and people thinking about traveling. It's so good when you know you have a place where they can go and be comfortable, and we as founders, we know each other, and it is such an amazing thing to have an Airbnb. And with me, I have a home and I'm living here. Well, I have a tenant downstairs, right? And then I have a roommate. So when you think about all of that, it makes it life so easier, so much easier when you know you have a place where people can stay and you can live independently with that help. So yeah, with the Airbnb and me living at my home and having a tenant and a roommate is awesome.
Absolutely. You know, if it was you know, in a meeting that we all have with founders, if Sandra said, oh, I have a Airbnb, I would probably jump on and say, Sandra, I'm going there next week. You know, can I connect with you and rent and stay at your B&B? You know, because I already know her and she's already know who I am. It cut short the process of screening, or, you know, you really have to rely on the third party to know whether that B&B in a safe area, or, you know, there's so much more to it. I know Milo has things he wants to say. Milo?
Yeah, with the Airbnb, remember, you will also, the cool thing about Airbnb, you got O-Capture, you got O-Connect, that you can do videos that you can show people everything about your house. You can show them how to get into the house, you know, the lock, you know, and stuff like that. You'll be able to send them videos. You can also send them videos from around the you know, the area, you know, because sometimes you don't know what it is you're renting. But, you know, if you got a lake right across the street, well, is that important, or is that fun to see? Yeah. Is it fun to see that there's something close by? Absolutely. You know, so all of that's going to make a difference, I believe. Plus, like I said, you get to work with everyone else.
For sure, for sure. Let's move on to a real estate investing, real estate, investor arena. And I know we have a lot of them here. I mean, I like to share my story a little bit. I invested in real estate during the time that's market crashed, right? During that time, we bought probably, 10 properties a week, right? And if you've heard the term, the fixer or the flipper, right? That's what we are. Real estate investors are flippers, the fix and flip, or you call it the wholesaler, right? When we bought a property, the property in a very bad condition, even one of the property that we bought didn't even have a roof, right? So you have to have a team of constructions, team that's ready to do what you need to fix the house, right? And this is what we did, was we have a team of about 40 people. The contractor license has to be there. You got people in the plumbing, the electrical, the drywalls, the floor, you have all of that. People ready to go, right? How do you do that? You got to trust the people to be there as your team. Being a real estate investor, you got to have a team of people around you that you trust, right? So what we did, we bought properties, 10 properties a week, and we had the team coming in and fix them. During those times, we have to market for the renters, right? Because our goal was to be able to have, to sell rental properties, not just flipping an empty or a vacant property. We have to flip with a tenant out there. Our goal is to be able to create a cash flow situation and then resell it or flip it to another investor who wants to hold it for a long run. So what we did was we bought the property, have the people coming in and we call it renovated and upgraded, right? And then we also have another team. Our goal at that time was to be able to rent it to Section 8, which is the group of people that the government subsidized for the rent, right? So that's what we did. We had to market for that market as well. And once we have the tenant coming in, we have to have another team to market for the resale of the property, right? So now I do hope that you see the process or the steps that we are doing. And I do hope that you see what OnPassive can help in every area that I'm mentioning, right? Once we fix the property, complete the property, we already have the buyer ready to buy, right? And once the buyer's ready to buy, those buyers are investors. What if they come from another state or another country? You have to have a management team ready to help them managing and collecting fund and all of that. You have to have a complete system for them to be able to buy your property and hold the property and be able to make the cash flow for them as well. OnPassive has that complete systems that if you are interested in becoming a real estate investors, you'll be able to do that. What if you are real estate investors who has a system ready to teach other people doing the same thing that you are doing? OnPassive also have the product for you to do that as well. Please talk to me, real estate investors out there. Does that sound familiar to you? Peter, Harold, anyone who own real estate out there, Milo, please add on to what I've said. Peter, I see your hand up.
Yeah, Julie, for sure. We call those people that teaches classes for how to invest in real estate. They call them gurus, right? And those gurus can teach classes easily on Academy, and they can charge whatever they want. I'm sure Julie and many probably others in here spend a lot of money traveling to different states. I'm talking within the United States, that is, to travel to different state to learn about a course being offered somewhere to teach you how to invest in real estate. I know I've done that. And so there is travel expenses, there is the hotels, and your living expenses during that time, and plus paying for the course that you are taking there. All that can be done in your comfort of your home. And actually, Mr. Ash mentioned this, not this last Monday, the Monday before that. He says you can teach and save on the travel and the airfare and you know, the hotels and everything, which is so expensive now these days. So that definitely can be a benefit to do that within OnPassive tools. Another thing too, in regarding to fixing houses and working with your team, like you said, Julie, you can communicate with them through some of the tools within OnPassive, and also investors, like in Detroit here, I'm in the Michigan area. In the Detroit area, we used to attract a lot of investors from out of the states because the houses here are so cheap. In particular in the Detroit, in the city of Detroit, you can literally buy a house and rehab it yourself for somewhere around $10,000, for example. And I've seen some at different time, different years, and they were even cheaper than that. And you can buy houses for that much and rehab it and sell it, turn around and sell it for 40, 50,000 or whatever you can get out of it during that market. So there is so many tools for that. You can attract leads, you can attract investors with all within OnPassive. I mean, it's endless, limitless, literally. Thank you, Julie.
Absolutely. It's so true. I mean, there's so much. What we're discussing here, I'm really loving it. Milo, do you have anything, do you want to add to it, Milo?
Yeah, I mean, as far as investors and stuff, when you think about it, and I've been to hundreds of thousands of dollars worth of seminars and bought property all over and stuff. But the thing that I love about OnPassive so much is, do you realize that you could build apartment complexes all over the world, and you could bring in people that would run them for you, and the money coming in, just from the down payment from the house, say if you wanted, say if you're going to rent a place that's a $2,000 rental, you rent it for $1,500, you rent it for less, but you bring the money in on the front side, you drop it into OnPassive, all of a sudden that starts building the spots that will pay the mortgage, remember. And then when they bring it in, you put that in there also. You can just build stuff all over the world. And me and Leon talked about it, you know, as far as like homeless and stuff. How you could do the same thing with homeless. You bring them in, you build a house for them or whatever, and you first get the spot, and you might give the spot away to them, you know, but all of a sudden, remember that is benefiting you. It's putting back into the system, and anytime there's people dropping down there, it's putting back into your system, and it's making you more apples, you know, and you can create whatever you want to. I do believe that there will be no one, you know, you won't be working unless you have a passion for it. In other words, we're not going to be working at something we hate, because we don't have to anymore. We can create whatever we want to with OnPassive. And that's why Ash says, he says, I'm not going to tell any of you what to do, because everyone can have their own opinion of what they want to do. But I can tell you that you can build it and they will come. There's a niche out there for everything. I think I said this last week or something, but last week there was 60,000 people here for turkey hunting. Now, who would think that? 60,000 people that are crazy about turkey hunting, you know? And so you can build anything that you want to, whatever niche you want to do, because it's going to bring the people into your funnel, and it's gonna sell them that OnPassive, because it's going to constantly be branding OnPassive for you, you know? And once they come in, of course, that brings commissions to you every month.
For sure, for absolutely sure. We do have a question that's very interesting to discuss, right? Brenda, I mean, I just happened to see it. I am a real estate guru. You know, I offering a weekly seminar to student. Do the student pay the guru the use of OConnect or Academy? It's beautiful questions, right? Peter, do you want to answer that? I can go on and on about that questions, but I'll have you answer that.
Absolutely. Thank you, Julie. Brenda, absolutely, for sure. I just spoke about that. So any of those gurus that hold seminars for real estates, they can definitely offer classes within Academy. Within Academy, if I'm not mistaken, Mr. Ash gonna make it like a bundle with other products, including OConnect, where you can communicate with your seminar takers from within Academy and OConnect, and they would be able to pay for the program. Of course, that is your choice. You are the administrator of that particular subject, and you can charge whatever you want. You can offer a teaser program, like for people to add more students to your seminar, your weekly seminar. So that is a very powerful tool for that. That's incredible questions, very interesting. Thank you for asking that.
Yeah, it's very interesting to the point where anyone can use OConnect to teach, right? If you are a real estate agent and you want to hold a seminar with your potential buyer, you know, walk them through the process of how to buy a house, you know, what services you offer, or even if you are a real estate agent or a loan officer, you want to educate your consumers, you know, how to make certain decisions. You talk about, you know, interest rate. You're talking about, you know, the form, truth in lending. I mean, there is so much that anyone can use any products of OnPassive to be able to do what they need to do, but you have to be in it. That means you have to be a founder of OnPassive in order to do that. I see Brenda has her hand raised. Brenda, do you want to go ahead and open your mic? Or Milo, do you want to add into it? You're all quiet today.
Yeah, no, I agree with what you guys said, and there's a huge market out there for it. I do think that what you're going to see a lot of is I think you're going to see people not charging because they're going to get more people coming in. And remember, you don't have to charge. Whereas before you had to charge to make something. In this case, you don't have to charge because remember, the people coming into your funnel, if you bring people in, if you have something that's so interesting that they want to come in, they're going to be advertised to. That's going to be dropped into your package, and you'll make a lot more apples on commissions versus getting a one-time payment. That's my thought. But I mean, I know that there's going to be things that people's going to want to charge for, other people won't. Same way in the music industry. I think you're going to see people in the music industry, they're going to give their songs away. Why? Because they want people to hear their songs. Number one, they want them to love them. They want them to become a fan of theirs. And remember, anytime they come in, that builds their fan base. So they're making money that way.
Absolutely. Thank you, Milo. Brenda, if you would please unmute your mic and you want to emphasize more on the questions you have or make comments.
Hey, Julie. Yeah. So I'm still a little bit unclear. I have somebody that wants to, they already are holding a weekly meeting and they already have a following of 1,000 people and they're selling a product. And so they're interested in having the potential customers come to their monthly or weekly meeting. Is there any charge for them with OConnect or Academy? He's making his money from selling his products. He's not interested in making his money like a real estate guru, like I used in that example. Is that kind of more clear? So if he has a following of 1,000 people and he wants to be able to show his products and educate people, but he makes his money on his sale, can people come in and use OConnect and Academy without paying? I read through that stuff last night, but I'm not quite clear. I understand what Milo's saying in terms of Academy, that you can make it as a business. Michael Williams also referred to it, where he knew a real estate guru that, you know, he charged $30,000. This is not that kind of context. If anybody, I don't know if I've made myself clear or muddied the water.
Thank you, Brenda. Who wants to take that? Milo, go ahead.
I will. Absolutely, Brenda. He can do anything like that. Remember, if he's already got that following, that's great, because the first time he puts it on Old Connect or Old Academy, whatever it is, it's going to bring those people that will be tied to him, because he brings them in. Once they come in, they're going to be targeted for him, you know, as far as commission. Now, does he have a right to sell anything? Yes, absolutely. Anything you want to sell, I believe, as far as I know, now correct me if I'm wrong, but as far as I know, you can sell anything. We have Old Mart, we have Old Commerce, you know, he could tie them right into that, you know, or into his website, however he wanted to do it, you know. I think you could do it. Is it a digital project? Is it a digital products or?
No, it's frequencies. He makes products that are frequency specific to heal the body.
Oh, got you. Okay. Yes. But that could be digital, right?
Yeah, it could be, but right now, like, they're basically physical products. But I'm really, like, he's not looking at expanding what he's got, although I understand that you're addressing that. The 1,000 people that he's just looking, like, right now he uses, free conference calling. So he pays something, and then people log in and they have a conversation like we are back and forth right now. But the people that are calling in are not getting charged anything. So if he uses O Connect, like he's interested in the platform because he would like the opportunity to show people different things and teach them more. But my question is really the 1,000 people that he brings over, do they have to, because the founding positions are closing quickly, although we did have the discussion a few nights ago where he realizes that there is a window because he'd like to also bring this to, you know, his following right now. But let's say the people that maybe he gets 300 people that become founders, then we have 700 people that are left. Are they still going to be able to access him for free?
I believe so. I don't know why they wouldn't, because you can do a Zoom, you can do which be like an Old Connect, or you could do whatever. You know, I think there's even some, you know, there will be other products that he should be able to get onto, you know, that you don't have to be a member to get into it.
It's truly really up to him, Brenda. It's really up to the founders who decide what to do. If he decided to have a free course, he can absolutely, anyone could use it. I like to have Peter add more into what Milo have already said.
Yeah, in adding to what Milo was saying, basically the gentleman should become a founder for sure. That's 100%. No questions about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So his followers, regardless if they became a founder or not, if they joined, let's say the founder position are ended, okay, they still become a reseller, which is still a great position to be in, better than just a customer, for example. Once he offer, like, let's say O Connect or O Academy to put his course in, regardless if it's free or there is charge for it, these followers will have to sign up to be in that program. That meaning they have to put their name and email address, which will be captured, and they can through his links on Passive will be marketing on his behalf the On Passive products, and some of them will sign up and some will not. It's just a numbers game, but all of them will become underneath him, so that will generate additional income for him as well. Obviously, would be better if some people can see Mr. Ash's vision and can sign up as a founder now. They'll be better off than signing after we launch and they become just the resellers.
Absolutely, Brent. Absolutely, Peter. Thank you. Brenda, do you Niraj has his hand raised. Niraj, do you want to add more to this?
No, not to this, but I was talking about the investors.
Could you give us
like-
1 second? Let Brenda
Sure.
finish her thoughts and questions, and then we'll go back to yours, Niraj. Thank you. Brenda?
Yeah, okay, so they can come over and participate in his weekly video for free.
Yes.
Absolutely.
That's all I need to know. Perfect. There's a lot to this, for sure. There's many moving pieces in this puzzle. And so I appreciate it. I'm going to go back and watch the video it got broken up. I had to leave someplace. So anyway, so as long as I can say to him, yes, they can come in for free, and then they can be captured and they would go underneath him, and that would be obviously an added benefit. So
Right.
thank you.
But just keep one in mind that he has to be a founder, and
Yeah,
it's really dependent on what he offering. If he wants to not charging people, he surely could do that, right?
But that's not her question, Julie. Her question is, can people come and hear it
Yes.
free? And the answer is yes.
That is my question, Milo.
Yes.
Exactly.
You're welcome.
I mean,
They
your-
can come. Yes.
Yeah, your answer is much broader, which I appreciate for down the road. But right now, he won't come over unless he can bring his 1,000 people who still have access to him. He's not interested in the, he understands that if he signs up 1,000 people, that there would be some benefit, but his focus right now lies in his current business. And so he wants to make sure that they would still be able to meet every Sunday night for free.
Yes, they would. But the key to it, Brenda, there's an added thing to it, is it's gonna build, I'm assuming that he wants to get more people.
Oh,
to come.
yes.
It's gonna build that. That's what I'm saying. It's gonna build that. That's gonna be extra people, not the people he's got. He's already
Right.
got those, but new people that he's gonna bring. AI
Gotcha.
will bring all of those to it. But the answer that you're looking for is, can they hear him? Yes, they can.
And they can share, with free conference calling, it's just voice. And so then with OConnect or Ocademy, with Ocademy for sure, I know that, files and recordings and all that stuff. With OConnect, can he still share like files and so on, or is?
I believe so. I
Yes.
would think
Yes.
that's good. Yes. Okay.
Yes, for sure. Another thing, Brenda, too, is basically when he, like you said, he offer his program at no charge in Ocademy, for example. Imagine what kind of students will be his from within on passive, him as a founder. Okay, so now instead of having those 1,000 people, now he have a broad customers from just us right now, 1.2 million people and beyond after we launch. So imagine how much he can grow from that. And definitely he can, he can benefit for that. It probably will excel what's his profit from the course right now from within and on passive. That's 100% sure.
Right, I understand all that. Thank you so much, you guys.
Thanks, Brenda. All right, Niraj is our last speaker today. We'll have Niraj bring up the point or his comment, and then Malo is going to recap everything that we're talking about here. So, Niraj?
Yeah, I was talking about, once again, I was exploring things. So in case of real estate investor, there are sometimes investors who do not get maybe loan from a bank to purchase the real estate. So could OBLESS be used to actually finance that? Of course, if the amount is given by friends and family, so could he use the services of OBLESS?
If I may address that, OBLESS, I don't think in the investor side, because when you're talking about investor, you're talking about profits, right? I think OBLESS is only help the unfortunate if there is, and if someone's going through hard times and needed some immediate help, then OBLESS would be it. Or OBLESS could be a place where we are raising fund. So I think what you're saying is in terms of raising fund, but if you are an investor, that's my thought. I don't want to go further into it, but I don't know, Milo and Peter or do you have any other thoughts that come in?
The only thing,
no, Julie, I just message you because I do want to speak something how to connect real estate with Oblast. I don't know how it is in different part of the country, but I can tell you in the state of Michigan, we have signs everywhere where you can donate real estate to a nonprofit organization. Imagine, okay, so everybody here heard me before, and Mr. Ash, Chris Johnson, talk about the homelessness, okay? So imagine if people are donating real estate to your organization that helping the homeless, okay? So imagine taking those homes that people are willing to just donate it for tax deduction, okay, tax breaks, and you take those houses, rehab and fix them up, and allow somebody to that is homelessness, you know, I have no place to stay, to be there. We have that not just in real estate. The people are donating like warehouses, which also we can use for homelessness and like feeding the hungry, make the kitchens, soup kitchens, what have you, and other things, shelter. Boats, cars, they donated. We can, the homeless doesn't have a car to go. So all these can connect together with Oblast and put it all in under one umbrella. So that's something we haven't talked about. I meant to mention that as well. So just some ideas thrown around.
Perfect. Thank you, Peter. Yes. Oblast is the center of OnPassive, right? So I think we all should think about it. But let's address what Niraj is saying here really quick. As a real estate investor, right? Not the person that in need of a housing. That's two different things. So do you want to address that, Milo? Peter,
Sure.
anyone wants to address that?
Niraj,
but before that, I just wanted to say that he's not getting a loan from the banking system, so that is unfortunate. So that's the issue.
Okay, here's what I would say, Niraj. Why is he not wanting to get a bank loan?
No, he's not getting it, so he's not qualifying.
He doesn't
qualifying.
Okay, so that's if he doesn't qualify, I understand that. Remember, when you start building it up, you will qualify. You know, he will qualify, and I do. At first, my thing was everybody should pay off everything that they got, and then I got to thinking, wait, that's not really smart. That's really not smart, because why not have loans? Why not let the banks give you the money, and you use their money at whatever 2 to 5% for a house or something, and then you still have the money or the money in OnPassive, and you're making 8,100%, right? It does the math. You know what I'm saying? Smart people use other people's money. So the people who got a lot of money, they never buy with their money. They buy with other people's money. You know, sometimes they'll pay cash just because you can get something real quick with a cash, but 99% of the time they'll go to a bank or someone and they'll get a loan on that because they realize they can buy the loan, you know, and pay that out in payments. And now you take that money and you can invest it someplace else. Does that make sense? So I think over time, you know, as we start building it, everyone will qualify. But I understand exactly what you're saying right now. But to have someone, I don't think it would be personally, I don't think Oblast would be something that you would use that for.
I agree. I agree with Milo. You know, there has to be a good causes in order to use Oblast, not because you can't qualify for a loan or if you want to buy a loan, or even if you are an investor. When you're talking about the investor's shoes, you got to really think about, you know, the liability and the asset. You got to balance your book, right? And if you are, yeah, I for some reason, to me, it doesn't really connect, Niraj, to be honest with you. Thank you. Thank you. All right. We only have 13 minutes left. And it's a very big subject. And I'm sorry, I cannot go any further because Milo said he needs some time. What do you think, Milo?
Yeah, to get done in time, because I'd like to recap what we talked about.
It's a big subject. I don't think there is a show right after this. So is that okay with you if we have?
I'm going to bed.
What was it? Sorry.
I'm going to sleep.
You're going to go to sleep. I know it's a long day for you,
Yeah,
Milo.
it's been a real long day for me.
Yes.
So, I mean, if you want to stay on after, you can, but I'm not. I got.
All right. I
gotta
hear
grab
you.
some Z's.
Right. Bruce and Ruth, I'm sorry, it's a long subject. We're probably going to cover this again if you need, or if you have questions regarding that. Would love for you to come on our Saturday. We can address them real estate subject is a long and it's a huge subject, and we'd love to address you, but unfortunately it's a long day for Milo, and I'm going to send it over for Milo to recap what we discussed here, and then we're going to shut it down. Milo.
Thank you, Julie. Yeah, so let's recap what we kind of went over and what we heard today. Okay, number one, we got Create. That's going to make our websites. And remember, our websites will have one new funnel made every day for us. So we get 365 funnels made using AI every day. We also have VPNs. That's going to keep us safe. That's going to keep our data safe. Okay. What about OPost? Using OPost to create real estate newsletters. You're going to get all your leads using AI. Now, that can come from any place. AI can be your TV screen. It can be from, anything in your home, or you say something to someone, it gets in there. Remember, we also have OTracker, which has all of our email addresses and phone numbers and everything in. Zip codes, whatever, we can do that. OMail, how about OMail? We didn't discuss that too much, but that's a CRM system basically that also has autoresponders. It will respond to whatever question comes in. We have OChat, which has the chat box that will answer questions for you. Remember, that's done on AI. So as you answer a question, it will automatically put that in the queue. So when that question comes up again, it's answered. How about OStaff? OStaff for the brokers, and really you can use OStaff. I think you could use it for your customers, basically keeping track of your customers, keeping track of their birthdays, their anniversaries, whatever you want to keep track of, the time that they bought the new house from you, and how about every year you send them out a postcard? Do you think that's going to make a difference to them? Absolutely it will, because you remembered that this is the day they bought their house. They might not even remember it, but it comes up on your screen. You send them a little note. How about Ocademy? Ocademy is a great product, can be used for really anything. You can go from the brokers to you can go to the real estate. How about the real estate person putting together, a builder or a guy in construction that will show how to change this or change that and make it different. That's all something that can do. The big thing is AI. AI is artificial intelligence. And once we have that, remember, we're also going to have data centers that have AI. Let's see, OTracker for the leads. You can do OTrim. That way you can track your leads. You can see where they are. How about ODit? ODit, you can make changes to pictures. You can put a picture up, kind of like Canvas or Photoshop, where you take that house and you write something on it, or you create things with that. Now, the cool thing about a lot of this is, what about the ripple effect? What about the ripple effect that this is going to have on everyone else in the industry? I think a real estate is a big part of that. So a real estate, a broker it's going to have effect on them. It's going to have effect on realtors. It's going to have effect on bankers. How about loan officers? How about flippers? How about apartment owners? We talked about apartment owners. It will do all of that. Landlords, Airbnbs, VRBOs, and then you got all the people that are associated with that, and you can create your own website where you can actually take people around, show them the thing. Renters, I can't even hardly read my own writing. How about management companies? We talked about management companies. It's going to be big for management companies. You know, when you got a management company that's doing it, it keeps track of everything. Investors, is it going to help investors? Absolutely. You know, there'll be a lot of things that we can put together. So real estate is a big, big thing, you know, that comes about. I think I probably hit it. I think everything I wrote down that we maybe talked about. I don't know. Is there anything that I missed, Julie or Peter or anyone?
I think you cover a lot. I'm getting the link for everyone right now. It's just go on. Give me about 3 minutes.
Okay.
I think OPIR for internal communication.
Absolutely.
And also OPOST for bulk mailing was discussed as well on this webinar.
I said that one for real estate letters. But yeah, I mean, and when you think about it, all of this, it'll blow your mind when you think about all the things you can do with it. How about motels, hotels? I think Tim Dillon brought that up. You know, it's gonna create a whole new thing, because it's gonna create this thing, because people are gonna want to travel. They're gonna want to see the world. They're gonna want to see things. So if you have something in your city that you can point out, that you can bring up, is that going to help the motels, hotels, and the Airbnbs and VRBOs? Absolutely, it will. You know, and it might even be that people, you show your city. I show my city of Nashville, where they party and we have fun all the time. People might want to come here and live because they like music, you know. So all of that, I think, is going to affect it. And I do think this is going to be a big one. And in fact, I forgot this, but remember, with Own Passive, most of us are probably going to be changing our zip codes. You know, we're all going to be in the industry looking for a new place. So how cool is that? Are we going to go to an Own Passive realtor? Probably, you know, because why wouldn't we, right? If they're not in Own Passive, we're going to bring them in so that we are, you know.
For sure. Absolutely true, Milo. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining us today. I mean, the real estate subject is a very big subject, because I believe everyone wants to buy a house, or everyone needs to have a place to stay, no matter what, whether or not in the hotel, motel, rentals, your own home, or it could be anywhere, right? Apartments and condos and all of that. It's really a big subject. The purpose for all of us to come together to discuss this, because it really helps you to looking at another angle, how OnPassive can help in different industry. We appreciate your joining us here. Peter, Niraj, Linda Longmire, Patricia, Tim, I mean, William, everyone who's joining us today, Marie Pendy, Sandra, everyone's that joining us today have added some more values to this. And if you are watching this, even if you're on live stream right now that you're watching us, please do understand that OnPassive is made for everybody. It's benefit everyone's that involved in it, no matter where you are. Even if you choose not to be a founder of OnPassive, it will still benefiting you because of the values that OnPassive is giving. It's helping the whole entire industry, entire nations, entire global. So if you are watching this today, I put in the chat the YouTube link for this live stream from the Julie and Milo show. Please take that with you. Share that with your real estate person, no matter whether or not as real estate agent, real estate broker, the investors, or anyone like that. Share this with them, because it's benefiting not only you who shared it, but also benefiting everyone who's watching that as well. If you're subscribers to Bilma's channel, Julie and Milo show, Marty DeGamo, OnPassive Nation, please know that everything that we are put out has values to it. Whether or not you'll take it and share it is really up to you. But if you are a guest that joining us today, we ask that you please get back with the person who shared this webinar with you or who shared this YouTube video with you. You've got to be in it in order for you to win it. In it could be either a founder of OnPassive, which you pay $97 to learn more, to see the whole process of developing OnPassive, or you could wait until OnPassive launched to the world, be in OnPassive as a customer. You still will win. We appreciate everyone joining us today. As always, without you, there's no Julie and Milo show. So we appreciate everyone's joining us. We do hold this discussion every Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Time and on Saturday at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. Every single show that we have, we discuss a different topic. So the next topic coming up, I don't have it down yet. I have a list of things that I want to do, but I have to really see what's the needs in the community, which I will share with you later on. And if you are on Facebook, you know that I'm out there, Milo out there, we're all out there sharing the topic we're discussing about. So please get back with the person who shared this with you. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here with us. Good night from Orange County, California.
Good night. Good night.
Good night from Nashville.
Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Looking forward to
Good
night
from
Philadelphia.
Good night, Lynn. Good night,
Julie.
Nice from Myrtle Beach.
Good night from you.
Good night, everybody.
Julie, good night,
Stop.
Milo. Good night.
Good night, Blaze.
Good night.
Good night.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being here. Good topic.
Good night, everybody.
Good topic.
Good night.
Good night. Good night from Good night from New York.
Good night. Bye-bye.